Hi, welcome to SONNY'S, the car wash factory. I'm Anthony Analetto, and today I didn't have to get up at a hotel and eat some lousy breakfast. I didn't rent a car or fly in last night. I got up this morning and drove 40 minutes south to Florida City. This is the area where we're at now. It's Liberty Car Wash. It's owned by Paul Fazio, the owner of SONNY'S Enterprises, and also the owner of Liberty Car Wash. We bought this car wash from one of our customers who had built it 11 years ago, and he was partnered with a few people. They didn't want to operate it anymore. They weren't interested in remodeling it to one of the new models. And we offered it to some of our other customers in the area. They also thought it wasn't a viable option. So Paul purchased this location, and we've actually remodeled it and reinvented it to today's model and today's market. So come on with me, we'll meet Paul, we'll talk about the numbers. You're really going to enjoy this tour. Hey Paul, this ought to be some fun, a little different than normal, you know? Let's tell the folks a little bit about the site, how Bill had it, what it was like before we bought it.
So a client of ours had the site, actually opened the doors on the site, if I remember correctly, in 2002. Started the project in 01, completed it and opened up in 02. Ran it pretty much as a traditional exterior along with his 4 self-service bays. But he was kind of an absentee owner, and it just kind of, went along doing its little thing. And around 07, he came to us because it was time to upgrade the site. He wanted to see what it would take to revitalize and get it to the next level.
I remember that. And Bill was a little bit of an innovator. I remember when we first did this, I just came back down to work here at SONNY'S, and Bill wanted to put the auto cashier online. Yeah. So that he could actually run a little bit unattended, let them load by themselves. And he tried to do it, I think, with the Walmart idea of 24 hours a day. Yep. And ended up closing at night and having an attendant there just to help him. But he was out there early trying to get the tunnel to run unattended.
I think he was comfortable with the pay station because he came from the gas industry where he was used to seeing pay stations at his in-base. So the idea of a pay station wasn't something that was new to him.
Yeah. How about the way the land was before here? Where we're standing right now is the driveway into the tunnel. But right. This was all grass before. This was just another half a lot.
Right. The acre is almost exactly, the land is almost exactly an acre. And where we are now, my back is up against Dixie Highway, which really is the frontage of the property. And what Bill had envisioned initially was to use the inside part of the lot for the car wash and to keep this vacant and then lease it eventually to a fast food company.
Right, I remember that.
So he never really envisioned using this part of the property as part of the car wash itself.
Right. I remember one of those problems was the only way in and out was through this main driveway.
Right.
So past the car wash, blocking the line, into the fast food and back out again.
Well, and the other problem we saw with that was what we thought the potential of the site was, didn't lend to having that cross traffic.
Right. And what's the local demographics like? I mean, these were never really good. We're in really the farmland of Florida.
That's it. It's heavy agricultural, very low income.
Yeah. And you see that in the mix. You see a couple of SUVs in a boat, and then a bunch of old cars that are over 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I think with this model, I think they love the ability to come in here and do the service, wash the car, and do the free vacuums.
Do their own thing.
Yeah.
So when we took it over, it was May of 08. And we just made some minor changes, and we did move at that point away from the traditional exterior, and we did add the pay station. But we didn't have any of the free vacuuming. In December of 08, we washed around 4,700 cars. Same format in December of 09 was just over 5,000 cars. Yeah. December of 2010, again, no real change, and it was like 5,050 cars, so in essence the same count. We made our main transition after we got our permitting from the city in January and February of 2011, reopened midway 11. December of 2011, 11,800 cars.
Yeah, that's huge.
So the only real difference was the free vacuums, and it doubled, it more than doubled the volume.
And you can see the curb appeal, what it did to the street and the visibility, and we're going to show the customers, we're calling this the naked truth. We're showing them the before and after pictures. Before it was a big green sheet of grass and a little sign and not a lot of landscaping, didn't have a great curb appeal. Right. And now all of a sudden we've got the vacuum posts, powder coated red, and they just pop off the street. Right. And the new sign with the free vacuums, you can just see the customer come alive, and they kind of like can't believe it's really true, Price point, when we took over, it was still a $6 car wash, I think.
Yes.
We did a little bit with that. I think we lowered that to $5 at the beginning, and then worked it back down to $3 and free. Right. Because of the demographics, and that seems to be really the magic.
And to see if that's what it was going to take to make the site pop, and that helped. But it was the vacuums that doubled the volume.
Hey Paul, let's tell everybody about phase 2 of the remodel project.
Well, as we finished what we wanted to do on the tunnel side, we tried to look at the property and see what else we could do to really get even a better return here, to see how you could really maximize this site. And the other thing we came up with was if we took one of the 4 self-service bays and converted it to an in-bay. And as we looked at that, then we thought, well, if we're going to do an in-bay, since we already have a hybrid wash here as a tunnel, why don't we try a touch-free wash? And we added the wing walls on to stretch out this particular self-serve bay, added a couple canopies to give it the right cover that it needs for the entrance and then where we have the blower. And now we've got our touch-free G2 here in this bay.
I know when we were doing the permitting, there were some problems with the permitting. And I want to share some information that kind of helped us get the permit through, because the city here really didn't want us to do any modifications. It was permitted as a car wash. It was permitted for X amount of water, X amount of sewer. So they were real strict as to what we were going to do here. So what we ended up telling them was that we were going to automate one of the self-serve bays. And they said, but you're only designed for so much sewer, so much water. I said, we're not going to use it anymore. If a customer comes in the bay and puts in coins for 8 minutes, they're going to use a gun that's 5 gallons a minute. And they're going to take their time and use about 40 gallons a car. And we're going to wash a car in 6 or 7 minutes at the same rate, because we're only high pressure for a certain period of time and low pressure for the others. And with all those formulas, they wanted to see the brochure for the machine and go through the numbers, but that's how we actually got the permit, because they were a little bit against it at the beginning.
We already know how hard it is with cities as far as how they look at a car wash, and to be able to educate them to show them what we're really talking about. If you saw this site before we took it over versus how it, just the appearance, the difference of how it looks today, how could they have not wanted us to do this?
So Paul, here we are in the vacuum area. We've got the free vacuums. And we kind of did it like we always do. We split it up. There's 3 different vacuum cleaners in 3 different areas. We got to put up the new vacuum posts with the radius arms to give it some curb appeal. I know we wanted to put up the canopies as well, because that's what people seem to like. But down here in Florida City, the wind loads today are now at 160 mile an hour. And I don't know if there's a canopy out there or a footer that's going to actually meet those requirements. So they really wouldn't let us put the canopies on. But I got to tell you, the curb appeal and the way it looks seems to be working just quite well.
I love it the way it is. The look from the street is terrific. The other thing is, because of the layout of this piece, we weren't able to corral the vacuums. So everyone from the street has access to these vacuums. So you can come in here, just vacuum, and leave. So I don't want them to be all that comfortable.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so with the sun here, hopefully they'll heat up.
The sun's like a timer.
And they'll go on their way. Right. And in fact, you know, when we talk about the change in how we've handled things here in the revenue side, when we took the site over, it was doing between $430,000 and $450,000 a year total revenue. And of that, a big part of it was his vacuums and his vending. He was doing about $36,000 a year in his vacs and vending. Well, I knew I was going to give up the vacuums. I'm still doing some vending. I'm ready to pull the vending out.
Right.
I don't want them to go to the vending machine, get a towel, wipe down their car, get a Armor All pack, wipe their wheels. I want them to move on. Yeah. You know, when you're doing this kind of volume now, it's get them in, get them out. Yeah. $6 average, keep going. I don't want you here taking up those spots.
And I've seen a lot of people, when they're a little bit quiet at the beginning, they can be nervous, they add the vending for the revenue, then as they get busy, you want to pull it away. So it's kind of tough to take things away they've already had. How about, Paul, the management part of it? I know we've got Robert Andre from Car Wash College doing it. I know all the guys that are here have gone through the Car Wash College classes. How's that been working?
Now, Robert saved me. So it was about a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I realized I couldn't spend any real time here. And I asked Robert to start helping me, and he's gotten more and more involved. And all my management guys now here go through the college. Robert spends some time here and in essence oversees these guys and has instilled here a lot of what the college teaches, and that's another reason why, as an absentee guy, I can get away with this.
Well, let's take a walk. I want to meet Robert, and I want to talk about some of the numbers and have him show us how he's doing this remotely and talk about how he's managing the staff from the office.
Great.
Hi, I'm here in the offices of Liberty Car Wash with Robert Andre, the president of Car Wash College. As Paul said in the video earlier, he's been playing a pivotal role as far as managing the car wash and practicing what we preach at Car Wash College as far as management training, repairs training, preventative maintenance training, and also he's become very, very intimate with the Profit Pilot and Wash Pilot and the camera system that we offer from SONNY'S. Robert, why don't you take us through some of the numbers? As Paul said, this is the naked truth. We're going to show him a little bit about how Profit Pilot works. At the same time, tell us about the numbers here at Liberty.
Sure.
Where they were when we started. And
so like Anthony said, we're here in the office at Liberty Car Wash. We've got the Profit Pilot screen up. The Profit Pilot has been a really valuable tool, allowing me to kind of remote manage the car wash because it gives me at any time access to all my reports. I can see who's on the clock, how many hours people have. Really gives me great control of the car wash from afar without having to be here to pull the reports.
Well, this is the naked truth. Paul was talking about when we first bought the site, what kind of car counts we were doing.
Sure.
He talked about some Decembers that were in the 4,000 or 5,000 car range, and then after we put the vacuums in last year, how it really kind of kicked up and changed. Do you mind showing us some of those numbers?
So we're going to take a look at December of 2010. And the project's been kind of an evolving project. We never really shut down the car wash and did like a clean break from old to new. We always stayed operating, so we kind of slowly evolved. And we really saw the evolution take place and our numbers change as that evolution took place. So this is last December. Last December we were at 6,775 cars. This is December 2010, not 2011. December 2011, we had our our free vacuums in place. And so what we saw from December 2010 to December 2011, we actually almost doubled that number. We did 12,223 cars right around there.
Well, let's take a look at that. I think people would like to see those real numbers.
Take a look at that. So here's December of this year, and we did 2,027. That's actually paying customers. This report doesn't show my free customers. That's on another report. So this is actual.
So that's 12,000
paying customers. Yeah, 12,027 paying customers that went through the wash.
And that's not our best month yet, right? Our best month was, Paul was saying, was January this year. We had perfect weather.
We had perfect weather. Couldn't have asked for more perfect weather. Paying cars, we had around 14,500 paying cars. I can show you that report as well. But actual cars that went through was over 15,000 cars, which was phenomenal. We had virtually no rain. I mean, every day was a home run day.
And how was it? What was your best wash day during that month?
Our best wash day that we had was actually a little over 700 cars. We did 702 cars on a Saturday.
And now that's in a 53-foot front wheel pull conveyor.
53-foot front wheel pull conveyor.
Well, this is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the camera system.
You can kind of move around and you've got all your cameras. Here's our top camera. We can see the cars as they're going in. We can see the tops. We can really zoom in that. We've got driver side, passenger side shots. Yeah, so as the car comes in, you can see the...
You can even see some dings on the door here, a small tiny dent right there as it pops through. I mean, that's as clear as it gets. And that could certainly save you a lot of money. And everybody thinks the cameras are expensive.
Absolutely.
But pay for a customer's dent or a couple little dings or paint a car. And 2 of those or 3 of those, you've actually paid for your camera system.
It's not just, a lot of times people think about not paying the damage claims, but it's not just that. It's when customer has the feeling that you damaged their car, the negative impact that has for your business. When I bring a customer in and I show them this and they see the quality of the camera and they see the damage there before, they leave here really feeling that I didn't damage their car. They have that feeling that, you know what, that car wash didn't damage my car. So just the not having them out there telling their friends that car wash scratched my car, I mean, just that alone pays for the camera system.
Great. Thanks a lot, Robert.
Thank you.
Hi, Paul. Well, I spent some time with Robert. We got to show the customers how the Profit Pilot works. The cameras are available to us by the internet. The whole system's manageable from the office. He shared the numbers with us. This has been great. A lot of fun for me because normally I don't get to do it this close and this comfortable.
And fun for me, I get to watch all of our clients' case studies. I'm kind of curious to see my own when it's done.
Well, you'll be able to see it soon.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. This was fun. I really enjoyed doing the project with Robert and the contractor and the guys, and it's nice to have another experimental car wash.
Yeah.
At least I know where I can put the stuff. I'll know where it is. I kind of forget when it leaves on a truck, and I say, where do we send that piece? And then nobody knows. But this will be good. Really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.
You bet.
Hey, thanks for coming down to Liberty Car Wash and spending some time with Paul, Robert, Andre, myself at the little car wash that we bought to try to help do some experiments and learn a lot so we can help teach you, our customers, how to operate better and learn how to get through zoning and planning and become better operators. I really enjoyed this one because it was very comfortable, very family oriented, and I get to spend the afternoon with my wife because I didn't have to fly anywhere or go anywhere. This was kind of neat. Thanks a lot, and as always, good luck and good washing.